Trump wants to make the U.S. a Bitcoin superpower, and everyone's wondering if market structure will pass before 2026. You're watching CoinDesk Daily. I'm your host, Jen Sanasie. President Donald Trump urged the United States to embrace crypto, stating his goal is to make America the, quote, Bitcoin superpower and crypto capital of the world. Speaking at the America Business Forum in Miami, Trump cast his administration as reversing hostility in Washington, saying he has signed historic executive orders to end the federal government's war on crypto. The president also contrasted his stance with the prior administration and warned that if the U.S. doesn't lead, competitors like China will. The speech comes amid pro-crypto moves from the White House, with the Genius Act signed into law on July 18th, with the broader market structure legislation continuing to progress. Utility or privacy? The transparency of traditional blockchains forces a difficult choice. Break free from this limitation with Midnight. CoinDesk Bitcoin Treasury Month is brought to you by Genius Group, a Bitcoin treasury company listed on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker GNS. Looking for a faster, cheaper way to move money worldwide? Owlting, listed on the Nasdaq as Owls, is building the rails for stablecoin payments. Speaking of the market structure bill, whether the legislation is delayed by the U.S. government shutdown is the question everyone's asking. The shutdown that started on October 1st is now the longest on record, breaking the 35-day record on Wednesday. Blockchain Association CEO Summer Mersinger said on Wednesday that the lengthening shutdown means the bill is likely to be pushed into 2026. But Patrick Wyth, the White House's executive director of the President's Council of Advisors for Digital Assets, told me at Ripple Swell yesterday that President Trump still wants the bill on his desk by the end of 2025. Polymarket bettors are predicting a 36% chance that the Clarity Act gets passed by both Congress and the Senate by the end of this year, a significant drop from its highest point of 87% in July when Genius was signed into law. And the local council of Tenerife is preparing to sell 97 Bitcoin for nearly 10 million euros over a decade after buying them for just 10,000 euros. The Bitcoin was purchased in 2012 by a public tech center on the Spanish island as part of a research project to study the inner workings of blockchain technology. Today, that investment has grown by nearly 10,000%, with Bitcoin trading at around $103,000 this morning. However, selling the coins has been difficult, as Spanish banks previously turned the institute away. The tech center is now negotiating with a regulated Spanish financial entity to complete the sale, with proceeds set to fund new research projects in areas like quantum technology. That's it for CoinDesk Daily. Get more updates on CoinDesk.com, and we'll see you next time. Break the cycle of exploitation, break down the barriers to truth, break into the next generation of privacy, break free. Free to scroll without being monetized, free from censorship, freedom without fear. We deserve more when it comes to privacy. Experience the next generation of blockchain that is private and inclusive by design. Break free with Midnight. Visit midnight.network /break-free. CoinDesk Bitcoin Treasury Month is brought to you by Genius Group, a Bitcoin treasury company listed on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker GNS. Genius is building toward a 10,000 Bitcoin treasury and just launched Genius Academy, featuring courses from Saifedean, Ammous, and more. Start learning for free today at geniusacademy.ai. Genius Group. Genius isn't measured in IQ, it's measured in Bitcoin. Looking for a faster, cheaper way to move money worldwide? Owlting, now listed on the Nasdaq under the ticker symbol Owls, is building the rails for stablecoin payments. Convert fiat to stablecoins and send money as easily as a text message. Learn more at owlting.com.